Hey everyone. Man, my dog started going crazy about a minute ago. They're barking like lunatics. You gotta bark like something. So forth. Karen will be joining us later. She's having dinner with a friend that she hasn't seen in a long time. And so forth. Yay, thanks, play, laugh, love, learn for subscribing. Bark, bark, bark is correct. I assume you can hear them pretty loud. Eventually they'll stop, maybe. How do y'all need blue sky invites? Oh, do we all need blue sky invites? What's that? What? I guess not, since I don't know what it is. The new Twitter. What? Isn't X the new Twitter? No, we don't need that. I don't know what it is, but we don't need it. It's like Twitter, but instead of being called Twitter, it's called Blue Sky. Isn't one Twitter enough or zero? As soon as it's like X, then we're all set. FIDE trans AUs. What's that about? I don't know what AUs is. IAUs. It's not like IOU. Oh, issues. Yeah, that's part of the stream. No. Zero Twitters is too many. Well, hopefully when Karen gets back from dinner, she'll hop on the stream and opine about some of these issues. But I want to hear your terrible takes first before I hear a correct take. So, yeah. Well, we can start with that. So, if you go to the internet and type in, I guess, FIDE trans issues, or, they put out a press release a couple days ago, which seemed pretty anti-trans, and people are complaining about it on Twitter. FIDE typically doesn't seem to like women or women's chess or trans or anything that has to do with women. They seem like they're against it. And the people who run FIDE are typically, sexist, older Eastern European men. And they don't get feedback from a lot of women. And their understanding of issues that are like that is similar to those of like people who are U.S., senators and Congress people who are just old white people who don't really know what's going on in the world, and they just know that they hate it because they're old. So they hate anything new, and they hate women, and they hate everybody. So FIDE's taking the lead on that by showing their hate, and I think it's because the dark side of the force is very strong. So I think they let the hate flow through them. And people are complaining on the internet and so forth. Also, more importantly, it distracts people from what's going on with the Han situation, which they claimed they were going to do stuff, and then they forgot about it and pretended like it didn't happen. So, yeah, etc. What is FIDE? That's a good question. So it's a less corrupt organization than FIFA because there's less money involved, but they rule chess with an iron fist. They're like FIFA, but for chess. In fact, the first two letters are the same, FI. And so forth. Well, a lot of people, since the French women put out a letter denouncing all the sexism in chess, and people started talking about the sexism in chess, one of the, people who's high up in FIDE, well, more than one, is known to not be at the forefront of women's issues, shall we say. So, yeah, but I mean, that's FIDE. That's how they roll. they seem not to like women in FIDE, the people who run FIDE, and don't like trans people. They just like to hate people. And, a lot of organizations are like that. A lot of older people are like that. And younger people can hate people too. They just usually don't pass rules about it because younger people don't have as much power in the bureaucracy as older people. If younger people hate people, they usually go to the streets and hate. More physical violence. And then the laws that are passed and the rules that are passed, whether it's an organization or a government, typically is by older people because they're the ones who are in the government. There's not a lot of heads of state or Congress people or senators in their 20s, but there's plenty in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Yeah, exactly. So that's unfortunate that FIDE decided to pass anti-trans rules during the World Cup for the Open and the women's tournament, because those are like a premier event for top level chess. And typically when bigger organizations that run sports want to make announcements, especially hateful ones, they don't do it during like a premier event. You're not going to hear the NFL, punish somebody during the Super Bowl because, they want to wait for the Super Bowl to end, get good publicity. But FIDE is not good with publicity, so forth. Yeah, and the trans issue reminds me of another issue. Can you guys stop barking? Jesus. Usually they give up at some point, but they're not giving up. Maybe they have opinions too on the trans issue. It reminds me of homeschooling. A lot of parents complain when homeschool teams enter scholastic events because sometimes the homeschool isn't, derivative of one area like a school is. Not that a school has to be, and that it's unfair and such. And this reminds me of that because it's so difficult to get a homeschool team, to get people together who play chess, that it's really a non-problem because it's so difficult to do and it's so rare. And this is the same with the trans issue. But, when people hate other people, they have to make rules about them. That's the way our society works. And there's a lot of hateful people in the world. I mean, I'm one of them. I hate everybody. But I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally. So, and so forth. And so forth. Now, the World Cup's going on, which is a pretty exciting tournament. So far, my picks are both in. Gorechkina in the final, and she's the favorite, obviously. And so Magnus is in the semifinals. He's obviously the favorite. Picking Magnus was easy. Actually, for me, picking Gorechkina was easy, too. I forgot about her until I remembered about her, because she's pretty good. I mean, I expect her to, at some point, be 2,700, but it might be 3 or 4 years. But, I mean, she's very good. Prague over Fabi. Well, I'll pick Fabi. Go America, I guess. But yeah, to read FIDE's newest policies towards trans people, go to something called the Internets. They put out a press release, and that's all over Twitter and such. It was more than 10 words, so I didn't read it. But I was informed by people I trust that it's very anti-trans. That sounds like FIDE. Go Bud Light. Wait, what? I don't really understand the Bud Light controversy or Budweiser. Like, a trans person was in a commercial for I don't know if this is true. This is I don't pay attention, but a trans person was in a Budweiser commercial, so people that hate other people don't drink Budweiser anymore. Is that what happened? I'm very confused. I think the Karpov Korchnoi game you're talking about is from 77. You nailed it? All right, that's what I thought happened. I don't know. They said a trans Instagram celebrity. Instagram celebrity, what's that? A case of Bud Light for their birthday, and the person made a post about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't really understand the world. I live in a world where I'm confused a lot because to me, like, things that are absurd and ridiculous and terrible are normal. And if you're not absurd, ridiculous, then you're considered abnormal. So, like, the things that I think are normal, 90% of the world thinks is abnormal. And the things that I think are absurd, 90% of the world thinks are normal. So I'm already like in a tough spot, just my own personal, way I live my life. So then when these other issues come out where, people hate other people because they like to hate people. I mean, I like to hate everybody, but not for a specific reason, just because you're a person. Not because you're trans or black or something. I don't hate for those reasons. I just hate everybody. Although I do put the police near the top of people I hate. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't understand the Bud Light or Budweiser thing. Like, etc. I don't understand why people drink beer in the first place, but all right. What about the Dutch? There's two things I hate. Exactly. Yeah, it's okay to hate people, but I hate people because they're people, so they should be hated. Not for a specific reason, just because you're a person. It's sort of like in Deadwood, or not Deadwood, Tombstone. In Tombstone, he said he needs revenge for being born. Let's get rid of this, get rid of this. But in actual chess news, the World Cup's pretty interesting, especially the Praggnanandhaa match with Arjun. That was a good match. And I guess this guy who I never heard of, well, maybe I heard of him, Abasov, he's probably going to lose to Carlsen. And then Carlsen will probably beat whoever he plays in the final. And so forth. It's weird that you have a qualification event for a very important event and one of the players of the tournament isn't going to play in that event. So that's weird. And it reminds me of U.S. Chess Federation. Well, they still do this. They still have the U.S. Open. And the winner of the U.S. Open goes to the U.S. Championship, except they don't go if they're not qualified, which typically means they're not American. They don't play for America. So you'll get situations where you're trying to qualify for the U.S. Championship and you're playing a 2600 FIDE from another country in the last round who's not trying to qualify, and somebody else is trying to qualify and they're playing like a 2350 American. So it seems like a weird qualification tournament where some people aren't trying to qualify. And so that's sort of like the luck of the draw. And, if you play Carlsen in round 3 or you play Carlsen in the final and you lose, that'll determine whether you qualify for the World Cup because you got unlucky enough to play him in round 3 or 4 or 5 instead of at the end when you've already qualified. So it's weird. And when he was world champion and playing in the World Cup, that was also weird. So I don't know. It seems like if you have a qualification tournament, the people who qualify should qualify. Now, Carlsen can qualify for the candidates. He's just not going to play in the candidates. So that's a different story, I guess. But he already knew he wasn't playing in the candidates. So I don't know. Why is there separation between male and female leagues in chess? Okay, there isn't. And it being a mental game, why are the top chess players still mostly male? Okay, so you did what a lot of people on the internet do, and I'm sure they do it when they're not on the internet. I just don't have to hear them. I don't, billions of people in the world. I don't know who most of them are. So you phrase a question, and the phrasing of your question has an inaccuracy in it. So if you say something like, Ben, since you're 7 feet tall, why do you think everybody else is so short? And I'm not 7 feet tall. And the way you phrased your question as an incorrect statement, so I can't really answer the question. There isn't a separation between male and female players in chess. So that answers that question. The reason there's more men playing than women is historical. In hundreds of years ago, women, they couldn't drive because there were no cars. Terrible. I mean, that's just very discriminatory. And women were treated worse than men for hundreds of years, and playing chess wasn't something that they did. And if women did play chess, it was pretty rare. And it's become more rare now, or less rare, I should say. More rare being less rare. Okay? Sort of like if you have a bottle of poison and then it has an expiration date, is it more or less poisonous after the date? So I'll let you guys decide that. Anyway, poison. Thirsty. God, when you guys drink Coca-Cola, I might as well just say poison on it. But anyway, so for hundreds of years, more men play chess than women. And now a lot of women play chess. So there's just more men playing than women. Probably at some point in maybe 200 years, when I've been dead for 180 years, it'll be equal. And also, in bridge isn't that old. The rules of bridge, as they play now in tournaments, are 100 years old or so. And before that, they had variations of bridge, which I wouldn't really call contract bridge, just something else. But anyway, and so since bridge is a relatively new game and rights for women are relatively new in the modern world, about the same number of women play bridge than men. And a lot of people who are retired play bridge, and older people when you go to a bridge club. So you'll see like half men and half women. In chess, probably you saw 99% men, and now maybe it's 90%. And then maybe in 50 years, it'll be 70%. And then maybe in 50 more years, it'll be 60%, and so forth. But one of the reasons actually has to do with what we're discussing today is there's a lot of hatred towards the minorities in chess, women being one of them. So if you're a woman and you go to a chess tournament and it's 90% men, and you're like, I want it to be 50-50, and I like chess, and chess is great, and then you get harassed, and you get talked down to, and you have a bad experience, then you're not going to want to play chess. So it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy that when there's 90% of the players being men, that's not going to change because those 90% try to keep the other 10% out for whatever reason. And then what usually happens is people who aren't very bright, which is most people, they don't believe that and they think of some other reason. They're like, well, I guess men are smarter than women, as opposed to actually looking at why women who play chess decide they don't want to play anymore. Now, obviously, if you have a group of competitors and 90% are men and 10% are women, it's a lot of women will be like, I like that. I like to see a lot of men. And a lot of women will be like, I don't like that. There's no women here. And I don't like the way I'm being treated. And I don't like this atmosphere. So I'm going to do something else where I feel more welcomed. And of course, the goal of a lot of chess organizations is to make women feel more welcomed. And unfortunately, with the latest revelations from St. Louis Chess Club, the US Chess Federation, and FIDE, you can see how women feel less welcomed. And obviously, if you go to Twitter or whatever it's called now, X or something, and anybody can post, sort of like anybody can post here on my chat. And if this is on YouTube, anybody can post. You don't have to have any intellectual capacity or any kind of education. Anybody can post if you have an internet connection. And they say a lot of hateful things towards people they don't like, whether it's racial or sexist. And so you get a lot of that. And if you're a woman, which I am not, but if you are a woman and you're on the internet, whether it's Twitter or if it's Twitch or if it's YouTube or if it's chess.com or Lee Chess, if people know you're a woman, you get harassed a lot. And I know this because I'm a grandmaster, and as an IM and a GM, I get harassed a lot, less than women do, but I still get harassed a lot by people who say things like, would you play me a game? And then 5 seconds later, please play me. Why won't you play me? Can you play me? I need a chess coach. Can you teach me? Why aren't you teaching me? Are you playing me yet? Can we play a game? And if you get like 12 people like that a day and they send you 10 messages each, that can get pretty annoying. And if you're a woman, it's worse. So a lot of women on the internet hide the fact that they're a woman and they don't want people bothering them. Okay? And I can't hide the fact of who I am, so I get bothered and I typically just ignore it. But, 99.9% of the people who bother me aren't bothering me sexually. So I barely care. But, if I was a woman and I was getting messages every day that were sexual in nature, that were disgusting, I may tend to not want to go to that place anymore. And if I go to a chess tournament and I'm a woman and I'm getting harassed, I don't want to go to that tournament anymore. And I know a lot of stuff because I know a lot of people. I've been playing chess in tournaments for 1,000 years. I've been on the internet for 1,000 years. And I know a lot of stories from a lot of different people about stuff that's not good. And if that happens to you, you may want to avoid that. And this is probably why some grandmasters don't stream, because you have to read the chat, and maybe you're just like, why am I streaming? I don't want to read that. I just want to play chess and get better at chess and win some prize money at chess and share my chess experience. And then people in the chat are like, why don't you like Trump? And you're a Democrat, so you're the devil. And why do you think being a vegan is good? Don't you know you're an idiot? And, and I don't mind reading that as much as some people, but some grandmasters and international masters and people who are good at chess, and a lot of women don't want to get harassed in their chat. And you can't really hide the fact that you're a woman if you're streaming on Twitch. So you're going to get a lot of terrible, terrible, terrible chat. And that's going to dissuade some people from streaming. And it's not a welcoming atmosphere. So when I started streaming, chess.com was telling streamers they should have a welcoming atmosphere for the people in their chat. And I was like, well, I don't do that. I ban everybody. I tell everybody they're idiots, and people like that, the Don Rickles kind of comedy. But I'm pretty welcoming at chess tournaments. If I see you in person, I'm like the dog who barks a lot on the internet. And then in real life, I do selfies and take pictures and tell you what a great, talent you are, whether you are or not, and so forth. That's how the internet works. So if you have a system that's unwelcoming to women, then women won't be part of it, whether you want them to or not. And so people like the Botez sisters, they know what's going on. They see the chat and they're just like, that's the stupid chat. People are stupid. And then, you have to have mods and stuff. But some people aren't so savvy, and they don't have a thick skin, and they're just trying to have a good time with their chess. And then they have to see the chat, and they're like, why am I doing this? So probably for women, but you would have to ask women, Karen's not here, but probably for women, it's less welcoming on the internet than it is in real life. So if I was a woman and I started playing chess, I think I would have a better time at a live tournament than I would if I was on the internet and people knew I was a woman and they were badgering me and sending me disgusting pictures and saying disgusting things in the chat. That's what I would think. My girlfriend streams and she hates the chat. It's hard to be a woman and like the chat on your stream because the chat's disgusting. So if you saw the Chappelle show where they did a skit on the movie What Women Want, which I didn't see, but with Mel Gibson, and they did What Men Want, said we can't make that movie because it would be disgusting. And then they showed like a lot of guys on the elevator with a relatively attractive woman and what they were thinking, and she knew what they were thinking because that's the female version of the movie. And then it was disgusting. And there was a little kid on the elevator who was about 8 years old, and he was also thinking disgusting things. She was shocked by that. So that's the world we live in. You know, men are disgusting. And you don't have to be, but, you know, if you have thousands of people watching your stream and 1% of them are terrible, then that's a lot of people who are terrible. And it's a high number of people. So you could have 20 people on your stream who are chatting disgusting things, and the other 3,000 people are not chatting disgusting things. You're still going to see a lot of disgusting things, and you're going to need some good moderators. And then they get new handles, you know. And my stream's pretty good, I think, compared to most streams. I think the people who chat on my stream, in my opinion, are better behaved than other streams. And I think when there is some bad chat, like half the time they're kidding and the sarcasm isn't going through well on the internet. But a lot of what I do as a show, you guys want to be entertained. So the more boring I am, the less you want to watch my stream. You don't really want to watch my stream for the chess, because if you wanted to watch for the chess, you could watch somebody better than me. There's a lot of streamers who are 200, 300, 400, 500 points better than me. So if you want to see good chess, you could watch Naroditsky or Nakamura, those kinds of people. If you want to get entertained, then, you know, I'm pretty good at entertaining you, whether I share those opinions or not, and so forth. Botez and Nemo chats are pretty chill? That's hard to believe. Really? Does that mean Botez and Nemo over the last 5 years have banned everybody who wouldn't be chill? I love it when you're boring. Man, when I make content for chess.com or Chessable, they get mad at me if I'm boring. So obviously when I'm doing content that's instructive, I'm more boring because I'm trying to teach you chess. But they don't like that. The powers that be are like, don't do that. Like, act like you when you're doing chess instruction. Like, insult the audience, make off-color jokes, etc. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to show them the Sicilian. And they're like, yeah, we don't care, just do that. Nobody wants to see you teach. They want to see you be funny. So the truth hurts. Nemo's chat has super aggressive moderation. That's the only reason it's chill. The powers are right. Be funnier, hurry up, says Bonarici. Right. But I think we have a good mix here, because if I'm the worst behaved chess streamer and I say things you don't want to hear and you get mad at me, then Karen does the opposite. So we got a good, we got a good back and forth here. Yeah, if you saw me at a chess tournament and you came up to me for a selfie or an autograph or just to talk, it probably would be a lot different than my persona that I do on my stream, because I'm not trying to entertain you. I'm just trying to live my life. Although I still am pretty entertaining at a tournament if they're paying me to be entertaining. The next tournament I'm going to, where they're paying me to be the GM that does stuff, is in Charlotte Thanksgiving weekend. I'll give like a simul maybe. I'll play in a blitz tournament. I'll give lectures. I'll play blitz chess with the gawking rabble. And so I'll be funny because, but I'll sign a lot of autographs and take a lot of selfies too. Because people like that. Yeah, my Chessable course, which I just started, is going to be on the Sicilian, starting with the Sicilian. So it's from Black's perspective. And it's going to cover all Sicilians. So after e4, c5, I'm going to focus on the open Sicilian variation that I want you to play. And then obviously your opponent might not play the open Sicilian. They could play early f4, or they could play b4, sacrifice c3 Sicilian. They could play closed Sicilian, all kinds of Sicilians. So probably half of it will be on the open Sicilian that I want you to play, assuming it is an open Sicilian. And the other half will be on white avoiding it and playing weird stuff. And again, it's for the same kind of rating level. If you're between 1,000 and 1,600, you'll really enjoy the course. If you're 2,000 or higher, you might think the course is too easy. And if you're rated 100 or 200, you might think it's too difficult, but I'm not trying to make it difficult. I think if you're rated 200-300, you can follow the course. It's starting out with the Sicilian. It's not for grandmasters. If you want a grandmaster course on Chessable, then go watch Geary's course in the Sicilian. This is for people starting out. Axiomeric subscribed. Good. A lot of people complained about my Ginger GM lecture. Half the complaints were, he's not a great player of the past, he's alive. Why are you saying he's from the past? So half of them were complaining about that. The other half complained that he wasn't a great player. You can't have lectures on Capablanca and Lasker and Fischer and Korchnoi and Ginger GM. You can't do that. Anyway, I can do whatever I want because I'm doing the content. If you don't like my content, watch somebody else's content. And the other reason I do it, which is more important, is we have sponsored lectures. And if the sponsor wants me to lecture on something, that's what I lecture on. So Ginger GM is not the weakest player. I've done great players of the past, and he might not even be the youngest. I think he's the same age as Leko. There was less complaining about Leko, I guess because Leko's a great player, so they couldn't complain about that part of it. And I think Ginger GM, plays more chess than Leko that's FIDE rated. But he doesn't play a lot. He doesn't play like he used to. He's busy. Anyway, that came out yesterday. So if you want to see a good lecture on Ginger GM, there you go. I like the Ginger GM lecture. Can you do a lecture on my greatest games? I'm about 1,600. If you talk to Karen and want a sponsored lecture and she agrees, then yes. If she says, well, you're 1,600, so no, then no. That's a Karen question. Has anyone ever sponsored a lecture about me? I don't know, maybe. I'm 230. If you're 230, it's time to go to the dentist. I went to the dentist yesterday at 7:30 in the morning, and they tortured me for 2 hours. And I had just dropped my daughter off at the airport. And the day before that, I fell down the stairs. So I got tortured for 2 hours, and I fell down the stairs the day before that. And nothing hurts anymore. My left butt cheek hurt for a while because that's one of the places I fell on. So anyway, now I feel fine. By the way, when we agreed to do the Simon Williams lecture, which I would always agree to, I thought he was older than he actually is. He's only 43. I thought he was older than that. How much for a lecture? If you want a sponsored lecture on some subject, you have to talk to Karen about that. Karen at atlchessclub.com. I thought he is 53. I didn't think he was 53. I thought he was in his late 40s, not his early 40s. He's got a lot accomplished in a short amount of time. He's got a lot of DVDs and videos and books. He's got a lot going on in his life. Chessable courses. He's got, for somebody that young, he's done a lot. Do you give lectures to high-rated players? I'm 1,200. What? It was 1,000,000 to 1 shot, Doc. 1,000,000 to 1. So this is funny. Of all the places that I think would never get high-roaded and low-roaded at the same time were the St. Louis Chess Club and Chess.com. If you told me Chess.com said they're not working with the St. Louis Chess Club anymore because they're high-roading them, I would have said, what? Shouldn't that be the opposite? So that was actually funny to me. But yeah, I guess Lead Chess and Chess.com aren't going to cover events that STL Chess Club does. I don't know. I don't even know what the complaint is. But yeah, just because I guess the U.S. Chess Federation, the St. Louis Chess Club didn't take seriously these allegations until they were in the press, and they did it for PR purposes. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but man, chess.com high-roading anybody, that's, god damn. That's when you know you've done something wrong. When chess.com says, we're not working with you, you guys did something wrong. God damn. What most people don't understand, and by most I mean all of you, is the world in itself that we live in isn't a court of law. And it's definitely not a U.S. court of law. So sometimes when people are accused of things, it's because they're guilty. And saying there has to be a trial, and there has to be a guilty verdict, and there has to be a sentence. No, that's not how the real world works. So, you know, like I'm drinking iced tea. And you could say, no, you're not. That's probably not iced tea. You probably dumped that out and put something in that looks like iced tea. We're going to have a trial, and we're going to have a jury decide whether that's iced tea. No, this is iced tea, and I'm drinking it. If you don't like it, too bad. So when several different people who are trustworthy accuse one person of the same kind of bad and or illegal behavior, that's because they're guilty. And saying, well, a court has to say they're guilty, a lot of people in court who are found guilty are not guilty. It doesn't mean you're guilty. It means the court found you guilty. And the world isn't a courtroom. The world is the world. If you loan your laptop to somebody and they destroy your laptop, you don't have to loan them a laptop anymore. You could say like, well, I loaned you a laptop last year and you broke it. And the guy's like, I didn't break it. When you gave it to me, it was broken. I did nothing wrong. Okay? Now you can go to court and figure out who broke it, or you could stop giving that guy your laptop. Know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, over 90% of the time when people are accused of stuff by several people, it's because they're incredibly guilty. They're the guiltiest. And so forth. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Nothing I can do for you. You can plead the fifth. In fact, I have this secret document here. Right here, I got this secret document. That's too bad it doesn't say fifth on it, because I would look like a genius. Fifth. So many amendments. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. And so forth. Will you review the World Cup games from today? Well, today there was only the one match, and I never review them. If you see the name of the stream, it's just chatting. So the World Cup, we were just chatting about what a great tournament it is, and it's unfortunate that Magnus doesn't want to play in the candidates. He just wants to play where he wants to play. Does what he wants to do. I agree with that. Do what you want to do. The Salamova match was good too. Good. Is MJ guilty? Wait, how many MJs are there? Was Michael Jackson guilty? Well, if you watch the Chappelle show, Dave Chappelle claims for quite a long time that Michael Jackson did nothing wrong. And then when the prosecutor says, would you let your child stay over at Michael Jackson's house? Then he gives an answer, which I can't say on the stream. So there you go. Spain versus England. That's right, Mason. Yeah, Magnus is pretty good. So is Gorchkina. She's pretty good too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's the next women's world champion. Everybody's banned. What's funny is the St. Louis Chess Club about a month or two ago hired Yasser as their permanent spokesperson, game analyst, whatever, representing the club. And then with the Alejandro situation, they're getting a lot of backlash that they didn't act quickly enough. Senior commentator. Yeah. Quadruple digit at last, quoting Seinfeld. You can get fruit at the grocery store. They got nothing good. And he said one of them was a travesty, like the papayas. I forgot what he said. The melons. He said something funny. No, Yasser was not privy to what was going on behind the scenes. That's not something that he would, be talked about too. Gorechkina is like 20 years old. What? How old is Gorechkina? Somebody look it up. I'm too lazy. She couldn't have plateaued. She's pretty young. Well, the Singfield Cup, St. Louis Chess Club streams all their stuff. They stream their own stuff. So you can always watch on YouTube or Twitch on the St. Louis Chess Club page. She's 24? Yeah. That's not really past her prime. Why wasn't Chess.com streaming the World Cup? I don't know. All right, so let's talk about Hawaii. So it seems like the people in charge of the disaster stuff and the electricity and all the bad stuff that happened, they didn't do a good job. They didn't warn anybody. They said it was good they didn't warn anybody. It seemed like they knew the electrical system was going to go bad and destroy the island, and they were like, eh. So it seems like people are probably going to go to jail, because when people die and people are at fault for being negligent, that usually means people go to jail. So I assume people are going to go to jail, but it might be 2 or 3 years. Well, I don't mean conspiracy theories. I'm just talking about the people in charge being incompetent. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just normal practice. It seems like the more incompetent you are, the more bad stuff can happen. I mean, if you're doing things that put people's lives in danger and you have an indifference to that, that's sounds like it could be criminal, not just financial. I've been rewatching your lectures as they get re-uploaded to your channel. That's correct. Yeah, the conspiracy theories, I never believe any of them because they're all ridiculous. But I'm just saying in general, it seems like a lot of this could have been avoided if the people in charge of what failed did a better job and weren't negligent. It seems like they knew their system was bad, and they complained about it, but nobody did anything. There was a lot of inaction, and it made things a lot worse. Hey, Moobot says I'm 2,800 again. Go Moobot. Sometimes Moobot says I'm 2,000. They asked the guy in charge of the sirens, should they have turned on the sirens? And he said no. People would have been scared and they would flee and they would all get trapped. So it was better that we didn't sound the sirens. What are the sirens for? I mean, what? They claimed they were afraid what people would do if they did sound the sirens. It sounded like they didn't realize how bad things were. That's why they didn't put the sirens on. It sounds like everybody's incompetent. Well, usually the smoke kills you before the fire does. So even if there's water, you don't want to sit in the water for hours. You try to protect your home and people. So it was going too fast. It seems like if sirens would have gone off and people thought the island's on fire, we should go in the water, maybe more people would have been saved than finding out as they're burning down. I guess Karen is home, or there's a burglar that's relatively quiet. Either way is good. She probably texted me and I ignored it as usual. Oh, she did. She liked one of my texts, but she didn't text me. She's probably home. I was actually in Pompeii with Karen, went on our honeymoon. We had a tour there all day. That was very interesting. Is the burglar making coffee? No, she is not. I actually cooked today. We both cook occasionally. I've been to Pompeii, did the tour too. Me too. Do I miss Detroit? Well, I visit my family in Michigan quite often. Some of my lessons help you go from 1,200 to 800. So that's good. It's good the other way around. That's better. Ayo, ayo, Libro. Yeah, there's Hurricane Hillary. That's going to hit possibly Los Angeles, possibly Reno, and possibly Las Vegas. But it's going to die down when it hits them. It's going to be category 4. Then when it gets to the shoreline, it's going to be category 2 because it's cooler water near the shore. Yay, Chess Dojo Live is rating with a party of 12. Give them a shout out. Thanks, Chess Dojo Live. Yay, 12. Let's give a shout out to Chess Dojo Live. Where's my mods? Where are my mods at? How come mods never watch my channel? Charlotte Chess Center subscribed to Tier 1. Let's give him a shout out. There's Trying to Learn. He's a mod. Hey, let's everybody congratulate Charlotte Chess Center because next month he's opening a second location in the Charlotte area. So there'll be Charlotte Chess Centers. Go second location. He took all the employees he didn't like and sent to the second location. And that's what I would do. Yeah, but thinking isn't your strong suit moves. Charlotte Chess Center lives in the only state where Trump hasn't been indicted. There had to be a reason why he lives in Charlotte. I figured out what it was. Are you playing more chess? Wouldn't I have to play some chess to play more chess? Trump seems to have very bad hygiene. I don't know. I don't know where you get that from. Seems like it's 50-50. Either he does or he doesn't. That's funny trying to learn, if true. Let's see, I got Miami, Atlanta, D.C. Man, that guy's right. I didn't see any of the games from the World Cup today, but I heard they were interesting. I start my job Monday. Any advice? Good luck. I don't know. Do a better job than George. Big money, no whammy. Stop. $5. I'm sailing to Catalina this weekend. Oh yeah, because the storm's gonna destroy you. California sailing. Man, the truth hurts. Which is the island that's off San Diego where you take this really scary bridge there and they have a really fancy hotel? Is that Catalina or I'm making that up? I'm probably making that up. The other stuff I didn't make up, just the name of the island. Key West. Coronado Island. Yeah. Coronado Island. Yeah, I liked walking around there. That was fun. They had a really good ice cream shop when I ate ice cream. It was called like Moo Time or something. Picture of a cow. Yeah, Coronado Island. Yeah, I knew that. It started with a C, so, what do I know? Yeah, San Diego's nice. FIDE is going to change their minimum to 1,400. When I was playing chess a long time ago, minimum FIDE rating was 2,200. That was in the 80s. Now I don't know what it is. Come to New Zealand. That sounds expensive. I'm a big sir. That's me. No, but just getting to New Zealand sounds more expensive. Also, I'm a vegan, so I can't live in Wellington. No Wellington for me. Yeah, we could talk about other issues also. Those are just the ones that I thought of. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to New Zealand or Australia, but you know, time and money and so forth, especially the money part and the time. Only Exclam Vegan knows holy water from Castlevania. Can we talk about game abortion on chess.com? Thanks, Boner Pull. Good timing to talk about abortion. Are you a big fan of FIDE in general? No. Is it true? I didn't have a driver's license when I was a kid. That is true. Any opinion? I mean, he said what he said. It is what it is. I guess he doesn't like the format. I mean, why would he play in the candidates if he doesn't want to play in the World Championship? Let's see if Karen said anything. She said nothing. I don't know when the candidates. Oh, the candidates is in Toronto. I don't know when. I don't know what year it is or what decade. What are those books behind you? They're books. Who's the best ever? Karen's the best ever. April 2024, man, that's a long way away. Steinitz is the best. Probably not now. Maybe in the 1880s. Am I a fan of Elon Musk? I am not. What's the opposite of a fan? Bishop takes gifted a sub. Yay, the hype train is close. Who's my favorite celebrity? Karen. April 2nd to 25th, 2024. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for gifting Holy Water a sub. Let's see, I'll text Karen. No, it's going to be in Toronto. My friend Wes likes to go to Toronto a lot. Maybe he'll go in Kibitz. Do you think Hikaru's wife will temper his fire and make him more palatable to you? To me? What? Were you always this charismatic, or did you learn it later in life? No, I've always been me. I don't think anything's changed. Just older and bigger. You'd be better at chess if you were better at chess? Yeah. Who's the latest winner of the Hikaru Nakamura Sportsmanship Award of Good Sportsmanship? Good question. Usually Hikaru wins. Who's better, you or Bobby, if he wasn't as good? About the same. Tie. Go hype train. Does anybody watching this stream have any relatives in Hawaii or any particular stories they know? Nobody was better, they're just different. Which world champion would be the best in a physical fight? Worst questions ever. They all got 700. Usually when the government offers money to people, they never get it. Too complicated. Thoughts on F3? Terrible. Yay. Yeah, Karen's going to come down and join us at some point. Do I think Hikaru makes the candidates if Fabi finishes top 3? What? What? I don't know what the rules are for all that stuff. Do you feel like chess.com ratings are inflated? I mean, inflated as opposed to what? Those are chess.com ratings. Have you watched the new episodes of Futurama? Yes. Yes, I have. Not as good as the first 10 seasons. This season's not very good. Probably different writers. Why did you crush Ginger GM in that SCC match? Which one? It's not that the ratings are inflated. You're comparing chess.com ratings to other ratings. They're different. Chess.com ratings are perfect. Like I'm 2,800. That's exactly where I should be. The only rating that matters for people is whichever one is the highest. So you should all be in love with your Lee Chess rating. Dinner's ready? No. Yeah, I played 2 matches with Ginger GM. It's Karen. Yay, you're back. Did you show up on time?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm so glad you remembered it. Hey.
We're having a Just Chatting stream.
Oh, yeah?
And I put a lot of the issues in the chat title. We've already discussed them.
Let me see.
And we
Just
can discuss
Chatting.
more because, that way you can...
Fix it. Oh, it is fixed already.
You just assumed it was wrong.
I did. World Cup, FIDE trends issues, U.S. chess, Lee chess, chesscom issues, Hawaii, hurricane. Yeah, I hadn't heard about Hurricane Hillary. I vaguely heard about it, etc. So what did you guys talk about already?
All of them.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. But, you know more about it than I do.
I don't.
Especially Hurricane Hillary.
Let me get in here.
That's going to hit Vegas and L.A. and Reno, maybe.
So the only reason I know about it is because, hey, Moves, I'm in the Twitter poker spaces too much. And they were talking about, a lot of those guys live in Vegas, a hurricane coming. But then one of the guys said, no, it'll turn into a tropical storm,
Right.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Meister Peacock.
And this is the month where LA gets no rain, but that's going to change. It's going to rain.
Hey, Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, California hasn't had a hurricane in like 100 years.
Hey, I can tell the story about Archer's clothing and see if they can help solve the mystery. That'll take up 5 minutes.
That's good.
Okay, so I have to tell a story. So Archer's my 14-year-old son. He's in high school, and he has gym in the last period of the day. And they get dressed in shorts and shirt, And he usually doesn't change back into his clothes when he comes home. He just wears his shorts home. And the process that all the students seem to follow is they change into their clothes in the bathroom. I don't actually know. I'm just going by what I've been told. And then they all put their clothes, I guess, in their backpacks or near their backpacks. But he always puts his in the backpack. And they line up their backpacks outside the bathroom where they change. And then they go do PE and they come back, get their backpacks, and go home. So yesterday, Archer had gone to stay at his dad's for a few days, and I dropped him at school. Everything was fine, and at the end of the day, they texted me, he and my ex-husband, his dad, saying that Archer's clothes had gone missing, and that Archer texted me and said somebody took them out of his backpack. And I'm like, well, why would they take the clothes out of the backpack? So they needed to come by. Even though he was staying with his dad for the next few days, he needed to come by our house and get more clothes because his dad, for whatever reason, has never bought any clothes for the uniform that they have to wear at the school. So he came by, got some clothes, they went home. And so then I'm trying to understand what's going on. I'm like, well, where are the clothes? Like, what could have happened? And he looked all over the bathroom and looked all around at school, and he didn't see them. So we have a WhatsApp group for the 9th grade parents for the school. So I got on there and I said something about it. I said, it's pretty strange. These clothes disappeared, and he said his bag was unzipped. And I just thought it was pretty odd and just wanted to mention it on here. And then somebody else piped in and said, well, one time their kid's laptop was stolen, so it is possible, kids might steal there. Although I've never heard of it before, but obviously they're kids. But anyway, the next thing I know, after I'd posted on the loop, and by the way, back it up, I'd emailed the school about it, and they just kind of blew me off and said, oh, check lost and found tomorrow. Like, they didn't really think, and I have to admit, I was wondering maybe they weren't stolen. Maybe he did lose them somehow, but he's pretty good with details. So I was confused by it. Anyway, after I posted on the parent loop, within 20 minutes, and meanwhile he's at his dad, so I'm having to text back and forth with him. Within 20 minutes of me posting, some kid texted him and said, hey, so-and-so has your clothes. I'm going to give him your phone number. He accidentally took them. So I hear that, the clothes are going to be returned tomorrow. Somehow the kid took them. I didn't have any details. So I emailed the school and I said, well, it seems like everything's fine. Some kid took them and he's bringing them back tomorrow. Well, then Archer goes to school today and the boy shows up with just the shirt. And I'm still getting this texted from Archer. I didn't get to see him, so it's hard to get information out of a 14-year-old via text. But he said that the kid didn't know where the pants were, but he brought the shirt back. And he said that the reason he took the shirt, it was on his binder. That's all he said, it was on his binder. And I asked Archer, I said, this story just stinks to high heaven. I emailed the school too, and I said, even though we're getting the clothes back, this is before I knew we weren't getting the pants back. Even though I know we're getting the clothes back, I wasn't born yesterday, and this story stinks to high heaven, but as long as we get the clothes back, I'll move on from it, and that's fine. Well, then when we didn't get the pants back, now I'm back to where are the pants? And these aren't cheap clothing, and it's the principle of the matter. Where are the clothes? So I'm I'm texting with Archer. I'm like, well, where did the boy say the pants are? And the boy said he didn't have the pants. I'm like, well, you need to go check Lost and Found. And he's like, well, I'm in class. I can't do it. And so I'm just sitting around here fuming and fuming and fuming. And then I decided just to go up to the school. So I went up to the school and I asked to speak to the Mr. Oz, who's in charge of the high school. He's not the principal of the whole school, but it's a K through 12. He's head of the head of the high school. So he's pretty high up in the food chain, and I know him, and he used to be a guidance counselor. So Holden knew him real well. So anyway, he knows who I am. I just don't know him real well. So I meet with him, and I'm telling him, about updating him on the situation. We didn't get the pants back, and the school, the front desk wouldn't let me go to Lost and Found to look. So he and I walked over to Lost and Found, no pants, come back. And I had at that point the name of the boy, that brought the shirt back. So I gave that to Mr. Oz and I said, look, there are cameras in the school and I want those pants back. And I kind of gave him the mom voice, and I didn't raise my finger. I didn't raise my voice. But I made it very clear.
I'm laughing at what Moof said. It's pretty funny. He's so invested in the story. I forgot about the hurricane.
Listen, I told my friends at dinner, she brought her husband, which I didn't know she was going to do. But anyway, yeah, they got very invested in the story and want me to text them the outcome. So anyway, I say, look, and I repeated my cliche that I had used in the email. Look, I wasn't born yesterday, and this story is pretty fishy. And I said, you've got cameras, so you can't just let kids be taking things out of kids' backpacks. And so it seems like you'd want to look on the camera and just see what's going on. And he agreed. He said, his job is to present a united front. He's got to protect the kids. And I understand that. I wasn't being ugly, but I was making it very clear that this is not going to just pass on. And I told him, I said, I heard that a kid's laptop was stolen a couple of times. I said, so I know that this is going to happen from time to time, but I do want those pants back. He said, okay. So I come home and I move on from it. I had my poker study group. I walked 5.6 miles on the treadmill. I was in the poker Twitter spaces all day. Busy woman. Well, then I get a text from Archer at school, and he says, they found the pants. I'm like, really? Where did they find the pants? Out in the field. I guess where they exercise? I don't know. I mean, again, I don't see them till Sunday, so I'm trying to get this from text. I'm like, they found the pants in the field.
What happened was the kid stole the pants and went to return them to the store, and he fell in mud. The very pants he was returning. And I asked the kid, when you get to the store and return the pants, what are you going to wear home? And he said he didn't think that far ahead.
What?
Seinfeld.
Oh. I knew it was a show. I just didn't know which one.
Seinfeld. The very pants you were going to return.
So then I'm asking Archer, like, how did the pants get in the field? And Archer says, I repeat it again, this just seems, this is not adding up. And Archer said, I don't think he stole the clothes. And I'm like, all right, well, how'd the pants get in the field? And he says, I don't know. And then I didn't hear back another thing from the school. No email saying, we found the pants. Like, they're just trying to blow me off. So that leads me to believe it was theft. Wouldn't you guys think it was theft if they don't get back to you, or no?
Yeah, definitely the kids stole everything. By the way, when you told me this before,
yeah,
I never told you this because it's really boring. But when I was in middle school, I'm going to say 6th grade, but it could have been 7th. We shared lockers in gym. And one day I went to my locker. We put the same thing. We put our clothes in the gym. We put on shorts. And so they're in the locker. And we share lockers. The kid I'm sharing with is like, it's like I'm ex-murderer, by the way. Okay. He's like the worst kid in school.
Look at the comments.
So I go to gym. I come back to my locker. I put my pants on. There's no money in my pants, and I had about $3. However, about $1.20 of it was like in coins, like nickels, pennies, dimes. And so I went to the office and I said money was stolen out of my pants when I was in gym class. And eventually, like later that day, the vice principal said, like, we have the money. And he gave me $3. I said it was about $3. He just gave me 3 singles. Because it was just his money, obviously.
Right.
They didn't find the money. He just gave me $3.
Aww.
But I was like, that ain't the money because it was mostly coins. And I said it was about $3. I didn't tell him that. I just said, okay.
That's so nice.
Yeah. So they gave me my
heartwarming.
Now my school was like the kind of school you get knifed in. Somebody was claiming maybe the kid was poor. This is a private school, so it wasn't like the kid's poor stealing pants.
No.
He just wanted to steal some pants. You gotta steal some
I like
clothes.
the comment, who steals worn pants? Well, I mean, it's not because he wants to wear them.
He just wants to steal.
Right. Reminds me of that Smith song, Been Caught Stealing.
Mm-hmm. What'd you call it?
Oh, no, that was...
The Cure, right?
No, that was... who did Jane's Addiction?
It's not The Cure?
I don't think so. Or who did it? Who did Been Caught? It was who did Jane's Addiction? Why can't I remember stuff anymore?
But Jane's Addiction is the band, right?
Oh, Jane's Addiction. Okay. Jane's Addiction did Been Caught... Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Jane's Addiction. They did Been Caught Stealing, I think.
But what did The Cure do? They cured it.
Let me think of what song the Smiths did one.
It wasn't in the locker room. It was outside in the hallway. Archer's story is the backpacks are lined up in the hallway.
This is why that begs the question of, like, why aren't they using lockers? There's a Smith song, Shoplifters of the World Unite. I can't think of a song by The Cure.
Friday, I'm in Love?
Well, I mean, a song about stealing.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
I know tons of Cure songs.
No. Why are the backpacks not in the locker room?
That's the question of the day. Why don't they have lockers?
They assume that people aren't stealing stuff because it's a private school. So some people say it's the best school in Georgia. Like maybe Karen would say that.
It is. It's the best school in
Georgia.
Georgia.
I told you.
It's definitely.
It was until this, the thievery. Now unclear.
It's the best school in Georgia.
Friday, I'm in jail. Exactly.
Is theft ever moral?
It's always moral.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I have to feed let's say I'm a single mom with 2 kids, and I'm not able to feed my kids.
Well, sounds like based on a true story.
No. Then, I mean, if I go steal some food, I think that's the thing I should do if that's only way I can get to
Remember
food.
in Family Guy when the guy stole stuff and then Joe didn't arrest him? See?
I mean, if there's some things that I hate to use the word Trump, but that stealing is bad. No, wait.
But what if your cup is already overfilled? Ted Bradley.
Mason says, I was in the kitchen. Can you tell the story again, Karen?
He was complaining a lot during the story.
Hey, I tried to tell it as fast as I could because I knew that it was a long story.
He said, well, this story ended. And I said,
I
no.
did the best I could, but the devil's in the details.
Oh, I like what Trying to Learn said.
What did he say? That's funny. Try. Fonnie Willis has an update on
That
Archer's
song's great.
pants.
Of course I know that song.
Apparently, they are connected to the Trump RICO case. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stealing does have to happen. And most of the stealing that happens, or I'm not saying most, a lot of stealing that happens, doesn't need to happen. This seems like instead of a thrill kill or something, it's for the thrill of it maybe. I don't know what's going on. How did the pants get in the field? As Deep Throat said to Bob Woodward, follow the stolen pants. This thief wanted to steal the money in the pockets. It could be a bad prank. I was thinking it was a prank. Then I came up with another theory that there's a third boy involved. Okay, so this
So it is a RICO conspiracy.
this makes everything make sense because then Archer's read on the kid is correct. The third kid stole the clothes, laid Archer's shirt on the binder of the other kid as he claimed, and then went outside with the pants and threw them out in the field.
Yeah, somebody made a point that maybe they wanted money out of the pants. There was no money, so they just threw the pants away. There could be money. There could be a wallet in the pants.
Yeah, that's possible.
And this is the best school in Georgia. Tough.
How many boys and what exactly amount of clothes for each? What? Occam's razor, though, it was probably just one other kid. Yeah, I think that there might be another kid involved that's the perpetrator. I don't know. You avoid this by not wearing pants.
Boris Brecha fan, you should be a Bertold Brecht fan. That would be better.
So Lapsa says, I'm out of the loop. How bad is it in Hawaii?
Oh, they said there's over 1,000 people missing.
I
So
saw
they're
that.
expecting hundreds more to be dead.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I did see that.
Chief Wiggum said it's time to put on your corpse handling gloves. That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah, go Georgia, Mason.
All right, what about these other things that you didn't talk about with this yet?
All right, so we talked about pants. We talked a tiny bit about Hawaii. I haven't been following the World Cup. What did you guys say about that?
We're just talking about it. Carlson said he's not playing in the candidates, and the top three go. So we know who's going to play in the candidates because he's not playing.
Who's playing?
Pragnanantha, and there's this guy Abasov, who's Azerbaijani, where the tournament is, and he's qualified. He's playing Carlson next round. He's upsetting win all of his matches, and at some point in time, a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, I don't know when, he was banned on chess.com for cheating on some tournament. So somebody asked in my chat if Carlson's going to refuse to play him. Oh, snap. Oh, 2016 it says. Yeah.
No, Boris, the fire came up on them so fast. And then everybody got in their cars, and then the fire came up on the cars, and people had to get out of the cars and make a run for it.
Magnus should definitely lose the first game with white and then drop out against Abasov. That's definitely what he should do. That's the funniest. And then Fabiano is playing Pragnanantha.
When? In the World Cup? What time does it end each day?
Our time, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. They start at 7 in the morning, our time.
Labiade says Ben is drunk. No. Yeah,
I did see the house explode.
Oh, I didn't even know. It was at night, Langstrand? I didn't even know that. Well, yeah, their alert warning system didn't work. None of the sirens went off.
I'm rooting for Fabi because me and Fabi are like that, son.
I saw some house explode in PA. It was on if it's the one where it was on a security camera of a house that was in the same neighborhood. That was a while back, though, wasn't it? A couple of weeks ago.
No, that was recent.
Oh. Maybe this is a different one.
What about FIDE trans issues? That sounds like something you know about.
I don't know that much about it.
Did you read their statement, FIDE, about the new rules?
When was the statement put out?
Like 2 days ago.
Oh, I didn't know if there was another one. I read part of it. I didn't fully understand it because I couldn't tell if they were saying, because they said something about August 21st. It wasn't clear to me if transgender women were going to be able to play in women's events after that time, or I just wasn't sure. I didn't understand everything. I did read it. So I'm not real sure about it, but it says they were reviewing the issue for 2 years or something. So yeah, I just didn't understand it fully. Well, that's a point, weird guys. I find it insulting that they think cisgender women
There's a poll: who stole Archer's pants?
can't play transgender women. Yeah, who stole Archer's pants? All right, let me get in on this.
Magnus. I compare the trans issues to the homeschool issue. People complain about homeschoolers, and I'm like, that's not really an issue. And this, like, they complain that men will become women and win women's tournaments. I'm like, that's not happening. Nobody does that. But somehow it's a big issue for, the old European guys in FIDE who hate everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I made a generalization on Twitter about it and said, oh, a bunch of men made a decision and without getting input from women. That's probably what happened. But
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't really know who was on the committee. Oh, they're ancient. But might want to get some input from some women. Women aren't concerned about it. So I'm not sure why they did that. Yeah, I don't know about it. But I don't know all the details. I need to read it again. It was confusing. The way they worded it.
U.S. Chess just put out a statement on Twitter saying, by the way, these are our regulations, which have been out for a while. They have their own.
Yeah, you're allowed to change gender once. But which everybody laughed about. But I mean, I think it's fine. You got to have just get some rules in place. You can tweak them if one of them's wrong, but at least, but they don't disallow it.
For more information on changing genders, see the Futurama episode. Great episode.
But yeah, I need to reread it. It was confusing. Have any top women players spoken up on it yet? I'm not sure, Merkin. I'll have to get on Twitter and see. Yeah, I don't know.
So you read about Sabrina Chavane saying, like, she's going case by case of all the times she's been harassed at tournaments. And then she claims after she posted the second one, she got a letter from an attorney saying, take that down. My client doesn't want that up there.
I saw all that.
And then she said the first and second ones were different people. Then she's asking for an attorney, and people are like, you should get an attorney and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, Magnus won. He stole Archer's pants. The crowd has spoken. Well, if he shows up tomorrow and has Archer's pants on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like that I deserve some closure. They didn't email me about it. So I don't know what happened. And my friends that I went to dinner with, they want to know, and now you guys want to know.
Whenever you go to dinner with an old friend and I don't go, they always bring somebody with them.
She brought her husband.
I know, like when
Zibby
that's happened before.
It wasn't her husband though.
I know.
She invited this high school friend, my cousin did, that I hardly knew. It was weird. I'm like, I guess she wanted to squeeze everybody in while she was in Atlanta that she knew. I understand it benefited her. It was fine. It was just strange. I'm like, okay. This was more normal just because I have gone to dinner with them before. It's just she didn't mention he was coming, so I was surprised. It's fun. I haven't seen her in forever.
Where's she live now?
They live right by Lenox Mall.
Oh, they live here. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. On East Paces Ferry. I just never see them.
Yeah. Banning, remove banning.
Jealous for hanging at Ben's. What?
I made the comment that I couldn't believe chess.com was high roading somebody and high roading the St. Louis Chess Club. That's even funnier.
Yeah, so yeah, you guys talked about that already.
Barely. Mainly we talked about etc.
Oh, they have a live PogChamps final tomorrow. I haven't followed it at all. Who is in the final?
Two people we
Moves?
probably never heard of.
Maybe. Who are they though? Could be like XQC. It's so boring.
It lost the allure. No.
You can't talk about transgender people because you could go to jail, hickey. Aw, well. I think it's pretty straightforward in chess, though, to me. Where it gets murkier is in other areas like sports that require that there are physical differences between whether you were born male or female. And so that has some murky areas, but I don't think in chess
Magnus said he
Should
was going
matter
to
so
transition to a woman and play in the Women's World Cup and
Yeah.
then not play in the women's candidates because he doesn't like the format.
Can we just play a game? Karen chess and Ben teaches. Well, I mean, the label, we didn't mislead you into coming over here. It does say just chatting. I'm not against doing any chess, though.
Boo.
I'm just saying. Judith Hogar just played the open section, didn't care. Yeah, but that's because she's pretty good. She was good. She could hang with the top 10 in the world. The pants are important. Well, I've got to have closure. I am going to email the school. I'll try to be nice about it. But, I think I should be allowed to know if somebody stole my kid's clothes. And I already know the kid's name. And I'm not going to tell any of the other parents the kid's name. But I do want to know what happened. That's right. Pants closure. Little double meaning there. Closure. Well, do you want to do some puzzles maybe?
Yeah. Oh, well, we could. That's weird on a just chatting stream. But
Well,
okay.
you can always just change the label. People do
Yeah, I
more
know.
than.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
It was hard for me to figure out how to change the thing.
Do you have a drug past, Karen, with all respect?
Past.
Define drug. Caffeine. Yeah, I don't do caffeine anymore. Chocolate. Chess is a drug.
We'll have to ask Kesha.
Crack, no. I've never done any crack. Hydrocortisone. I've probably done that. At least something harder than weed and alcohol. I mean, in a very limited way in my 20s, Mason. I tried some drugs, but not much. And I don't really like alcohol a whole lot. Now, weed, that's another story.
I just put it up.
All right, now let me see.
I think I have it.
Yeah. Well, that's not good if you only think.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
I'm struggling with it. Let me just look another moment. Let's see.
They're gold, Jerry, gold.
Darn, I just don't know. I was looking at trying to get the queen over there, like queen h7, and then
Yeah, the only moves to look at are queen h7, which I think is correct,
Yeah.
and rook e1, with the idea of playing queen h7 next. But after queen a4, I couldn't figure out what to do with white. So I think it's just queen h7 first.
yeah, I thought.
And I
it was
analyzed this check for a while, and I thought both of these moves won, so that confused me because they can't both win, which means he won't play this. So then I think he's going to play rook g5. So let's see if I'm right, and you're right. You think this too, yeah?
I thought that was the first move, but I didn't look at rook
That's
g5.
wrong.
Oh,
Darn.
I
So
didn't-
it is this.
oh,
Those are the only two moves.
yeah.
I didn't see how this... I looked at queen e3, but I didn't see what to do against rook g5. Because I thought it was this and queen e3, threatening this and this.
Mhm.
But after rook g5, I couldn't find a win, so I gave up.
Yeah.
I still don't see how to... It has to be queen e3. I just don't see how to beat this. I don't know what else it could be. Well, I'll try it.
Yeah. I didn't even look at any of these moves.
Yeah, I saw this and I gave up after rook g5. It seems like it has to be h4. And after this, I'm supposed to just take back. I don't know. Well, that just loses immediately. 3303. I'm not sure how to beat rook g1. Oh, this is just mate. I check and then I play rook takes rook check. And then I mate with my queen. I didn't see that. Yeah, if I had seen queen e7 check after rook takes, then I would have solved it. Let's see why this doesn't work. Since this is equal, I thought this was winning for white. I thought this one and this one. Oh, queen c4. That gets out of this pin. Yeah, my king's pretty exposed here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I didn't see after h4, rook takes rook, I have this check. Yeah, I have to, after rook takes, I have to throw this check in, then take with check, and then mate him. Darn.
I didn't see any of it.
3303.
Terrible.
Thanks, Shaquille Stand. You're so next.
Yeah, Mason, you're a little bit demanding. No
He
offense.
did say please.
No offense.
Thanks, I'm 11. Go hype train. Yay, FM John Curtis Chess's rating. Give him a shout out.
Yay,
Man,
thank you.
we got rated by Chess Dojo.
Yeah.
And it was 12.
Hey, 12's better than 9.
No, but like for them, I mean, I feel bad for them. They only have 12 viewers.
Well, they get more than that many times.
Exactly. Thanks, John Curtis. Can somebody give him a shout out? Where's all my mods?
Let me see.
Welcome to the stream. You like the new video on Ginger GM? Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah, good. Queen. Let's see.
Go hype train. It'll be our only hype train of the stream. Also, we could talk about the Braves. Go Braves. We swept the Yankees. And they scored 0 runs the last 2 games.
I was looking at maybe A6, and then you can get snap up that.
Yeah, the only thing I was
knight.
looking at is if I play A6 or Rook G5, because they both seem to win the same way. But after Rook G5, he would just take the Rook and then take the Bishop, and he has a Rook and a piece for a Queen. So this just wins more material.
Yeah, I didn't.
And if Rook C8, we can just play Knight C3 and lose the exchange. So this seems to win the most. 25-10.
Yay.
No, we missed the hype train. We haven't had a hype train yet. Boo, I blame Hawaii. Everybody's donating their money to Hawaii.
Is the
for one
stream
thing.
frozen or is Karen thinking?
He was just kidding. Just kidding.
I'm sorry, I'm slow.
He likes that you're slow. That's his favorite thing. Because he's slower. We ready?
Yeah. I can't help it.
I solved it. Yeah, the county we live in, that's the county that just indicted Trump. Go us.
Yeah, we live in.
Ever since I moved to Georgia, we indicted Trump. We elected Democratic senators to the Senate. We win. Go Georgia.
Yeah, we live in Fulton County.
I was at the Fulton County Courthouse last year because I had jury duty. And then they didn't select me because another guy in jury duty said he knew who I was. So they couldn't have us both on the jury. And he was on the jury. So I didn't get selected. And then the judge said, I hear you're the king of online chess. And I said, I'm more of the prince. So, true story.
Oh, so I think this one is Queen B8. And then Queen B1. Then you just take the rook. Now let me look. Let's see. I knew they were going to do that. I guess you have to. Well, you got 2 choices. goes there.
Is it possible to become an FM starting chess as an adult? Sure, why not?
And then I get checked by that pawn. Let me just look. That seems bad. Darn, this part's hard.
There's a lot of stars in the chat. Bishop star, star king.
Darn, I don't know how to get away from the queen. Because my calculation's so bad. So I don't know.
You want to guess or no?
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know.
Okay, one of these moves gets mated and one doesn't.
Right, I know.
So it's the one that doesn't.
I don't know.
So king f4 gets mated because
Okay.
they play g5 check.
I saw that.
And this is the only legal move.
I saw
then
that.
queen e4 check, and then we get mated in 2 moves. So king's getting mated.
I couldn't see that because I thought you could go king
And
h5.
then queen h4 mate.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so you have to go here.
I couldn't visualize it.
29-32.
Darn, I couldn't do that last move. I failed. I know there's only 2 options, but I can't calculate very well. And I forgot that pawn was there on g5, and then the queen could go to h4. I didn't see all that in my head. So, darn it. You didn't get any of the moves, Bonarici? I thought the first ones were obvious. Thank you, Lawful Waffle. He said 90%.
Okay, next. Yours. So next.
I mean, I could see, I understood that there was 1 or 2 moves, but I just don't calculate very well, you know.
I solved it.
Now, let me see. Let me check. He has to go there. Excuse me. Terrible. And then check is there. I'll go g4. Is that mate? Let me see. Oh, I guess you could go king h7 too. Let's see.
I've never seen Lawful Waffle answer questions instead of just quoting Seinfeld. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, well, none of that works. Let me try something different. Okay, go there. So I was looking at Rook H8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
29-20.
I did it.
Even Lawful Waffle got it.
Well, I was looking for a long time at Rook G8, and then, but then I didn't know what would I do if he goes King H7.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start it over again.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get it, Bonarici? It was too fast. Well, the first thing I looked at didn't work, and then I was looking at like if he ran down, you could just go G4. That was easy. I knew that wasn't going to be it. So then I had to kind of. I don't think fast, so Bonarici. Everybody knows I'm the slowest.
Ready?
Yeah.
So white just went here. So we're black. And I solved it.
Okay, black to move.
This is called ICC, the background color.
Okay, so check.
So we're black, and black's going this way.
Mm-hmm. I think I know this one. I see there, right there. Down.
Yeah, it's making fun of ICC because this was their first color. So it is ICC, but it's IC and then C, and then it's a joke on ICC.
Oh, but I forgot.
Exactly, Bishop Stars.
Darn, I don't know this one. Should I look a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Check there. And he moves up.
FIDE said any color but rainbow color is allowed.
I don't know. FIDE needs to worry more about, sexual harassment and assault than.
But they're the ones
transgender.
causing it.
What?
FIDE.
All right, let's see. Check. Let's see. Check. I'm not real sure, but because I don't know what their response is going to be. I mean, it seems like you have to go rook g2.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no? Well, that's the whole thing. That's what I've been looking at the whole time.
Yeah, Bonarici too.
Darn. Oh, go ahead with it. I don't think I'm...
You go here, then they take it because they have to.
Okay.
Then you push this mate.
Oh. Darn. That's pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great puzzle. I didn't get it, though. Yeah, that's a great puzzle. Yeah, Bonarici likes puzzle. That's a great puzzle. Well, let me see it again. All right, just go through it now. That's pretty cool. I couldn't get it.
28-31. You only get 75%.
That was generous. I don't deserve any. I didn't get any of the moves right, and I got 75.
Yeah, but you liked it a lot.
I did like it a lot. Yeah, it's a crowd pleaser.
Mm-hmm. Ready?
Yeah.
I solved it.
Let's see.
The last move of your answer, Bishop Stars, which you wrote mate, that just hangs the queen to king takes queen.
Let's see.
Look at Bonarici with the big brain. His answer was so good, he wrote, "It has to be wrong." Well, Mason, only one way wins, so your comment is shallow and pedantic. Thanks, Flex Donovan. Good flex. 200 bits. Thanks for the support.
Let's see. I gotta look at a different idea because I just can't get that one to work. So I'm sorry I'm slow.
Yeah, all your moves are wrong, Bishop Stars. He said, are all my moves wrong, or I can't find the last move? Truth hurts.
No, nothing I do works. So let me see. I can't get it. I can't do this one. Go ahead.
Bonarici explained it well. He said, always sack the exchange.
I looked at that.
So if king takes, queen e3 check leads to quick mate. So he'll take with the pawn.
Okay.
Then you check here, and he has one legal move. He has to take it.
Okay.
And then you fork. 26-16.
I had a bunch of the right ideas. Darn.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't put it together.
Bonarici got it. Then he thought he was wrong because he got it.
I had a bunch of that, but I couldn't quite get it. The final. I didn't see that fork there at the end. Yeah, that was tough. That's your one
I
puzzle
mean, I
for
want
the
to
night.
raid Nemsko, but she's playing Minecraft.
Oh, she is.
So only Holden would raid her.
If anybody ever wants to review the puzzles, you can do so right there. Just scroll down and click on the Learning tab. So, Nemo's doing Minecraft. Yeah, there aren't a lot of chess people.
You're following a lot of poker people.
I do follow a lot
They're
of...
all doing poker.
I do follow a lot of poker people. I guess we can't raid them anymore. St. Louis Chess Club is streaming. But I'm sure whoever's streaming is a friend of ours. But, we'll avoid doing that for now. So, I don't know about Minecraft.
No, we'll just raid Canty.
Oh, I didn't see Canty. Yeah, definitely.
I just raid
Canty.
him every day. That's why I'm trying to raid somebody else.
My kids love Minecraft.
Admit it, you like it too.
I've played it.
You have? Yeah.
They both.
I don't even know what it is.
I played it twice. It's so dumb.
Aw.
It's work. It's doing a bunch of chores. Let me go dig and get some wood, and make an axe, and go do some more work.